The bye week is over, and the Detroit Lions are back to work as we host the Minnesota Vikings at Ford Field this Sunday. But we got some good news, man. We knew this day was coming. Dan Campbell kind of gave us a hint last week that the plan was for Malcolm Rodriguez to come back to practice. And while not official, we did get some information from Jordan Schultz. This is coming from his Twitter account. Says sources, the Lions are designating linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez to return from IR, and he'll begin practicing this week. Rodrigo is coming back from an ACL suffered last season. He's poised to make a key role or play a key role in DC Kelvin Shepherd's defense down the stretch. And this is pretty big news when it comes to the Detroit Lions because our defense was solid and getting better as the weeks went on. But Rodriguez is a piece that will help take this defense even further, being the special teams ace that he is, and actually coming in, one of the folks that can come in and make an appearance in the game and actually make a difference. Remember, he was in the NFC Championship game where he picked off Brock Purdy, man, and don't even remind me, but Malcolm Rodriguez is a solid piece to this team. So the Detroit Lions coming off the PUP list is just like coming off injured reserve. The 21-day window opens for Malcolm Rodriguez. So with today being Monday and the Lions having not made it official just yet, but we expect something to come out, and it's probably going to be between today and tomorrow. I don't think whenever it becomes official, it's going to matter as far as games. The Detroit Lions. Now, when you open a 21-day window, all that means is that the Lions have 21 days to decide whether or not they got to shelve Malcolm or he's going to come back on the active roster. Now, at this point, they'll have to cut somebody or waive somebody. The bad news is when they do that, it'll be after the trade deadline. So anybody that the Detroit Lions cut will have to go through waivers, which is going to suck. So Malcolm Rodriguez, it'll be great if he could come back, like make it official this week. We could waive somebody, and then or we could drop, maybe it's a vested veteran, and we drop them, which I doubt. But anybody that we cut next week after Tuesday, 4 p.m. or Wednesday probably is going to have to go through waivers. Everyone, no matter how many years you have to go through waivers beginning next week. So it's going to be a crazy week for not only the Detroit Lions, but the NFL in general. So Malcolm Rodriguez, with today being, let's say it happens today or tomorrow, the Lions play this Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings. Then we go to Washington, a game I'll be attending, and then the next week, a game I'll be attending in Philly. Those would be 3 games. After that game, the Detroit Lions play the next Sunday, and then they play on Thanksgiving. So if we look at the calendar, with today being the 27th, the Detroit Lions have a game on Sunday, November 2nd. They have a game on Sunday, November 9th, and then they have a game on Sunday, November 16th, or somewhere around there. I don't know the exact dates. I don't know if they have any primetime games between now and then. That's not on a Sunday. And then we have a game on the 23rd. And then 4 days later, we play on Thanksgiving, which is the 27th. Now, Malcolm Rodriguez was hurt on Thanksgiving, so it would only be fitting that he came back on Thanksgiving. I don't think the Detroit Lions are sentimental like that. So when he's ready and they feel he's ready, he could come back. But once it becomes official, so let's say it becomes official today, the Detroit Lions make an announcement, then the 3rd would be 1 week, the 10th would be 2. They would have until the 17th to decide what they're going to do, which would make Malcolm available to play on the 23rd of November. So this is big news for the Detroit Lions. Bad news for whatever roster spot he's going to have to create and who's going to be out of a job temporarily until they can land on somebody's roster or a practice squad. But the good news about somebody being waived is that if they're claimed, they have to go on the 53-man roster. I believe that's the case. I believe that. So if you picked up, if you're claimed off waivers, you go on the 53. If you are poached from a practice squad, you go on the 53. So that would, if we lose somebody like a Lauren Strickland or something like that, it is possible that nobody's going to want to create a roster spot for those guys and put them on the 23. You can't like claim somebody and then ditch them on the practice squad. You got to put them on the 53. So if that does happen, then the Detroit Lions, if they have to waive somebody, then that person will probably end up on the team. Very few people are actually claimed when it comes to the waiver wire. It's super weird. Even after the NFL roster cuts, when the 90-man rosters were, here. They wind up only about 50, if that, people got claimed off waiver. So whoever we do have to cut in order for Malcolm Rodriguez to return will probably likely clear waivers and have a chance to get back on the Detroit Lions, man. But this is big news. Happy to see him. I just realized that Malcolm Rodriguez, yes, who did we play Thanksgiving? We played, so no, he didn't get hurt on Thanksgiving. He got hurt against the Bills, right? So we lost two people when we played the Bills. We lost Aleem McNeil and Malcolm Rodriguez in the same game with the same injury. That's crazy, man. Yeah. I thought he got hurt on Thanksgiving, but I guess it was against the Bills. But either way, Malcolm Rodriguez 21-day window has been open, not officially yet. Those are what sources are saying, according to Jordan Schultz. But it's probably going to happen because Dan Campbell, the last time he was in front of the media, said that it was going to happen. So shout out to Malcolm Rodriguez, man. Good to have you back. I think this is going to be big, man. I really do. Malcolm, and the thing about it is I was thinking about this, and I think that Brad is going to sign. He's going to re-sign Malcolm Rodriguez. We talked about how Brad is going to have his work cut out for him next year on his defensive line. Most of the secondary, like the starting core secondary, is still under contract. Amik Robertson was signed in free agency to a 2-year deal. This is the second part of that. I'm getting a little nervous that we might actually lose him simply because we got to pay Brian Branch. We got to decide what we got to. Brian Branch, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, Aiden Hutchinson. Malcolm Rodriguez is a guy that is probably going to return as well. Brad Holmes, even if you're hurt, this is a guy who's injured that I would not mind re-signing. He does not have an injury history. Malcolm is a stud and a dog. He was part of that. Him and James Houston were drafted the same year, the same round. He was actually taken after James Houston. I can't remember. Put in the comments, who was first? Was it James Houston or Malcolm Rodriguez? I think Malcolm might have been first. I can't remember, man. I'm usually pretty good at this stuff, but I can't remember which one was first. I'm sure you guys will remember and put it in the comment section. So this is a big deal for the Detroit Lions, but Malcolm is up for contract. So I was getting a little worried, like, will the Detroit Lions maybe not sign him? But Brad will sign. Malcolm Rodriguez will get a chance to re-sign with the Detroit Lions, and it's one that I don't mind. So good to know. Can't wait to see him back. Too bad we got to wait to the end of the month, but at least he'll be with us down that home stretch. So I was going to make a video about this, but I decided, no, nobody's really going to watch it, so I'll just insert it here at the end of one of my videos. But today is the 4-year anniversary of this channel. I just want to tell you a really quick story if you haven't heard it before. If you're new to this channel, I started this channel in 2021, obviously, October 27th. But I'm going to tell you why I started it. It was the year that Matthew Stafford was traded. We got Jared Goff, and the Detroit Lions were winless at this point. And I had another channel that I was running, and I was streaming on that channel, and I was trying to mix in Detroit Lions content, and it just wasn't working. It was like, I know I can do more. So I go to the LA Rams game and we lose. And it was the one game that I wanted the Detroit Lions to win. At that point, they were 0-5. I think they were 0-5 when we played them because we played them in October. So it was early in the season. We were 1-5. And I was like, just beat Matthew Stafford. Just win this game. I don't care what y'all do the rest of the season. I knew it was going to be a rough year. So we lose the game. I'm on the plane and I'm like, I know, like, I have so much more to say, but YouTube is an algorithm machine and you have to please it. You have to please your audience. You have to give. Otherwise, YouTube won't push out your content like that. So with my other channel and mixing in different things, I said, because I was still talking about Detroit Lions, but I was talking about other NFL teams as well. And I was like, you know what? Let me just go all in. So the game was like the 24th of October, which was on a Sunday. And then that Wednesday, I came home Monday. I got back Monday and I created the channel Wednesday. My very first video was 2 weeks later. And it was when Odell Beckham was released from the Cleveland Browns and the Detroit Lions were first in the waiver wire. And that was I was wondering when I should make a video, what I was going to, like, when am I going to make my first video? Because it was relatively new at the time, me taking a step like that. And when Odell Beckham got released, he was a big enough name. We were on the first in the waiver wire, which means that we could have claimed him. And I was like, well, this is the best time of all to start making a video. So it was actually my very first video was Odell Beckham coming to the Detroit Lions. You know, the fact that we could have claimed him if we wanted to. We all knew that wasn't going to happen. But I just wanted to say that today is our 4-year anniversary, man. So I wanted to say thank you for making me currently, right now, I don't know how long I'll hold on to that, but I am the #1 independent Detroit Lions YouTube creator. And I am also part of a very small minority of creators that talk about the Detroit Lions. I just want to say thank you on our 4-year anniversary, man. So we got a lot of more to go. I don't know how long I'm going to do this. As long as I love it and you enjoy watching me, then I'll continue to do it. One more thing too. Last night I asked you a question. Who was the member from D12 to follow me? And then as I record the video, I'm like, wait a minute. All you guys got to go do is look. And you can see like who follows me, I guess, because I don't really use Instagram. I might try and get into it a little more. The D12 member is Bizarre. Bizarre. Somebody in the comment section was like, it must be Bizarre. I'm like, what is that supposed to mean? Anyway, shout out to D12, man. Yeah, early 2000s, man. Anyway, this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. This is the last week of the Cancer Cares merchandise. Now would be a time to get it. It will be discontinued until next year. So if you haven't, all the 20% of the proceeds are going to go to cancercares.org, and that donation will be made somewhere in the first week of November. All right. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.